Hey there, Clashers, and welcome to the channel. So this morning, the Summer 2020 update dropped, so let's go check that out. So here we are, and first of all, you can see we've got this fancy new skin for the village, which I think is actually pretty cool. There's a lot going on around the outside. We've got a mine here and a whole bunch of stuff going on with the waterfall up here. I think that's a pretty cool addition to the game, something they didn't give away, at least not directly in the sneak peeks. I think a few people saw this change scenery button and kind of had an idea of what was going on. So far we've only got the one scene, so I'm definitely excited to see what other scenes they bring to the game. So I did get a few of the packs, and as you can see here, I've got quite a few things upgraded so far. I don't have enough Dark Elixir right now for my king, but once I do farm up some Dark Elixir, I've got the books ready to go to get him up to level 75. So that won't be an issue. Probably take me a week or less to get that done. I've got all the most important troops upgraded in the lab. Right now I think I've got one of the siege machines going. I still need to get the golem, and let's see. We got the clone spell to do as well. I'm not in a hurry to get that done. Same thing with the golem. I'm not in a hurry to get that. And with the siege barracks, I'll just use the donated ones until I get mine maxed out. So none of the lab is really in a hurry at the moment. I did use my research potions, of course. I mean, I had them. I might as well go ahead and run them. So I took a few days off of one of the, it looks like the slammer. So the slammer will be maxed in a couple of days. But I've been hitting one of my own bases with the new friendly challenge army. Let's go ahead and see what I've got here. So it's under more settings. It's kind of in a weird spot, but here we go. Edit army. You can see I was trying to run the Inferno Dragon. I've been messing around with the comp just a little bit. I've done a few hits, and so far I've not gotten any triples with the Inferno Dragon. I did get some triples with the Super Witch though, and we will take a look at those attacks here. The Inferno Dragon, I think, is going to take some more testing, more practice to kind of get the hang of it and see how it's going to be most useful. The Witch is a little more straightforward. You just kind of put her in and keep her alive. I have done a bit of practice with the... I've actually done all these attacks with Headhunters in the CC. I've not tried out the Inferno Dragon yet. It's actually a little bit difficult to get the Inferno Dragon donated right now because people had active super troops. Like, on all my accounts, I still have Super Wallbreaker active, so I can't donate anybody the Inferno Dragons yet. I am hoping that sometime in the near future Supercell lets us gem donates any of the super troops. That would make things a lot easier. So next we're going to look at some of these attacks, and we might do one or two Legends attacks as well, because I do have that new level Lava Hound ready to go. And in the meantime, I want to mention in my Discord server, which is linked down below in all of my videos, if you want to hop in there, I've got a giveaway going on that ends at the end of the month for gold passes. So if you want to get your July gold pass, be sure to hop into my Discord. Check out that giveaway. I'm giving away 5 of them, so 5 people are going to win the gold pass over there. Alright, so let's take a look at this witch attack. So you can see on this base right away, I did cheat a little bit and change the Infernos from single to multi. I knew that single was going to be difficult. Started off with a Warden walk over here, getting all this area cleared out. And then at the top, I'm putting in the Ice Golem with the Siege Barrack, so that's going to get the other side of the funnel set. So I let the Warden work, I let the P.E.K.K.A. get through these buildings, get those storages out of the way so nothing's walking up and around. I dropped that extra balloon in there, that's where I want the healers to pass through, so I do want to check for any more Seeking Air Mines over in that area. Nothing there, so the funnel is pretty well set. I get the King in, so I want the King to tank, and the rest of those troops are to tank, while the witches get their big boys on the field. So the big boys move in, everything's moving along now. I get the rage spell down, and then we're going to see the CC come in late because it is at the bottom, and I did not lure it. So the Queen's on the Town Hall. Town Hall's going to go down shortly. I do hit the Warden's ability as those eagle shots come down, and then the rage is still there. The witches are slowly making their way through, and then I've got another jump spell. I actually dropped that in a pretty poor spot, but the big boys, they kind of walk around back and forth there for a little bit. I should have dropped it further in so that everything kind of stays inside of the base. So now we got the CC troops coming out. We're going to see how quickly my king goes down with those headhunters in there. It actually doesn't look too bad, so they go down pretty quickly in the poison with all my troops right there. So the CC was not a big deal with the poison at all. And now you can kind of see where having the jump spell placed further to the right would have helped me out a lot right here. Instead of going all the way through, everything kind of bounces back to the outside and then around this trash ring. But on the other side, I got the healer switch on the witches and the queen, so I got kind of a queen walk going on. It would have been more ideal to have the healers just on the witches to keep them up, but I mean, it all kind of worked out right here. It looks like this witch is going to stay alive right here in the expo, so the healers are kind of like swapping back and forth with her. But I still got the queen's ability, still got this big batch of troops moving around the outside. Couple more witches over here, it looks like, or maybe just one more witch with the big boy. And then everything's going to just kind of come together over here. I hit the queen's ability to move her through that wall a little more quickly, and then she's going to help wrap up this triple. So that last base actually took me just one try. This one took 2 tries, but you can see here I am starting off with the Warden Walk again at 12 o'clock, getting that area cleared out so that I can send everything down the middle, and then I've got the Siege Barracks over here at 9. So everything's going to get cleared out down the sides, and then I'm going to send the whole army right down the middle of the base through the Town Hall. So the P.E.K.K.A. and the Wizards over here are going to be doing work. They've got that Ice Golem out in front, so that's going to help them be a little more efficient that way. My Warden was getting a little bit carried away and was going to start wandering off, so I've got to start getting the rest of the army in. So there's the Queen. I put her down to tank for the Witches. So the Witches, they're taking damage from the Wizard Tower anyway, but they do get the big boys down. I get the Rage spell in, and everything's going to start moving inside of the base. And then the Warden will get pulled here shortly. So he's working on that air defense over there, and then he's finally going to make his way over. So there he goes. The Town Hall is just about to go down, but the Warden's not going to do much if I hit his ability there. I did just about lose the Witches there in the core when the Town Hall went down, but they stayed alive. Not a big deal. Poison spell's down. There's the Warden's ability. I got everything covered up in the core, and that jump spell is going to lead everything right into this middle compartment. And then something I forgot to mention in the last attack is in the Siege Barracks, I actually have regular Witches, and they're going to work their way down this side behind the RC. And that's going to help out a lot, not just with cleanup, but with taking out some of these point defenses along the outside. So I use a freeze there, keep the RC alive. She's going to get through that Inferno Tower, and then keep on working through. Over here it looks like we've got a couple of Super Witches still alive, a couple of big boys still in the field, and of course my Queen's still alive and still has her ability. And again, the healers ended up on her, so I'm doing a bit of a Queen walk through the middle of the base, which actually is a pretty good deal there. She's going to tank quite a bit and then get a lot of things taken care of as she moves through. So I've still got a Super Witch down here. I've got my regular Witches out of the Siege Barracks. They're still moving along just fine. And then the RC, she's still alive and working through these defenses along the outside. So at this point, the biggest concern I have left is that multi-Inferno inside of there. It probably would have been a bigger deal if it was a single Inferno, because if it was a single, it would come down to just my regular Witches getting through it, which they probably would have, but I would have lost everything else in the meantime, and then time would have been an issue. So it works out at being a multi-Inferno. The Queen, she's going to work on that wall for a bit and then switch to the other wall so that she can go in to the multi. The little skeletons, they're working through these outside defenses, so that works out nicely. So there goes my Queen. When she switches walls, because I knew she was going to when those buildings went down, I used her ability, got her through that wall more quickly, and then she's going to help wrap up the triple in there. Now, like I mentioned, I didn't get any triples with the Inferno Dragons, but we're going to look at this replay because of the defense. I did 6 attacks this morning for the video, and out of the 6 attacks, this was the only attack where I had issues with the headhunters coming out of the CC on defense. So you can see I'm kind of clearing out the bottom side with the Queen and the King. This ended up being the least practical way to take care of this area, but that's how I was doing it for this test. The King's working through getting some of those buildings down, the Queen's going to step up, and then her ultimate goal is to get that air defense down. So over here, the RC's working on that backside air defense, get her ability hit, and then she's going to get stuck on the King up there and go down. So next I'm going to drop in the balloons and baby dragons. I kind of have a nice pathing here for the dragons to go through, but they're not going to be able to make it all the way through, and you'll see here. But I've got balloons, they're going to get that archer tower down, got a hound in front, and then balloons behind the hound. Warden's in, the slammer's in. Also, I felt like the blimp in this case ended up being better as well. And then the headhunters come out before I get the dragons down, and you're going to see they go right to the warden, of course, because they do target heroes. So I have to use the warden's ability very early. I actually think it went to auto ability there, but you can see there they did sneak through the poison. They kind of caught me off guard because I was still trying to think of how I wanted to deploy my dragons, and they got the warden taken down. So obviously, I mean, if this was like a planned out attack, it wouldn't have happened like that. I would have been thinking more about the CC, but you can see where it can catch attackers off guard and it can do some work. This attack's going to wrap up with a 1-star. I've got Inferno Dragons working the outsides. I had a couple go down here and I'm not really sure how. I'd have to go back and watch it again because I had all this cleared out with the King and Queen, so it would have had to have hopped from here down here all the way over here to the other compartment, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's how it happened. But yeah, that was the Headhunter example on defense. Anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. We've still got a lot to do with testing, a lot of base building stuff to work on, so there's going to be a lot coming out over the next couple of weeks with this new stuff, so very interested to see all that. Definitely need to work on some of these new troops and see the best way to use them. Work on a lot of different defensive combinations for the clan castle, see what's going to work best there, because I feel like there are a lot of possibilities for the defensive CC now, which is going to be very interesting. But for today, that's going to be it. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this update. If you're maxed out yet, I know a couple of people are, but for the most part, everybody's just getting their upgrades going, getting things ready to go. So let me know where you are in that progress. Of course, if you like this video, be sure to hit me with that thumbs up. And of course, if you want to see some attack strategies that are going to be coming up over the next few weeks, be sure to hit that subscribe button to check out more videos coming on this. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time.